I'm so poor. Yeah. Hey there all you freaks and geeks, it's your resident pink-haired maniac, and I got a little out of hand with the makeup. What can I say? I'm super bored. It's just been a long day, and hey, it's October. It's been a whole month since I uploaded my last video. Sorry about that, I've just been really busy lately, kind of messing up my schedule. Worry not, I'm back. Speaking of which, it's October! I love October. Of the 4 seasons that we as citizens of the planet Earth tend to experience every year, my favorite is autumn. Specifically October. I know October isn't really a season, it's a month, but bear with me on this, I'm getting to the point. The hot cocoa, the pumpkin pies, the leaves changing. There's an actual feeling that comes with fall that you don't really see in winter, spring, or summer. It's kind of like starting over. Nah, I'm just shitting you. The reason that I really love fall is because of Halloween. I mean, I've already got my skeleton lights up, and of course my little sign back here. Yeah, I thought you might like that. Yeah. Most of my Halloween decorations mysteriously disappeared somehow. I'm not really sure where that went. Hopefully I'll be able to find them before it's too late. So being that it's been a whole month since my last video, I figured that since it's getting close to Halloween, I'd like to share my expertise with you. And of course that expertise is horror movies, specifically vampire lore. Alright, so let me clarify a couple of things right now. Twilight is not considered part of the vampire genre. I hate Twilight a lot. I used to like it, I'll admit, but that was when I was a stupid 6th grader. 12-year-olds are weird. Now the reason why Twilight does not fall under the vampire genre is because they don't have the exact qualifications for it. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what qualifies me to be a vampire? Well, 1, you gotta be immortal. Yes, Twilight does have that stupid aspect to it. 2, you gotta be able to die. You can in Twilight, but like, there's specific ways that vampires have to die, but I'll get to that later. 3, you gotta suck blood. Twilight, they don't suck blood, okay? They're more like sharks. See, if you read Twilight, which I have, so I'm not just making shit up. If you read Twilight, it describes the way that these vampires, I'm just gonna say eat because fuck that, is they actually physically eat them, okay? They're not drained of their blood. They don't have fangs, they look like regular people, and for some reason sparkle in the sunlight. If you're a vampire, you're gonna spontaneously combust in the sunlight. They're like sharks. They get attracted to the smell of blood, but you don't see a shark suck blood. Alright, you don't see a shark go up to somebody in the middle of the ocean, go, I want to suck your blood, because they can't talk, or if they can, we can't understand them because they're underwater. No, they fucking tear into that shit. It's kind of fucking crazy. And the way that it's described in Twilight is basically the same as a feeding frenzy for sharks, basically. They're land sharks. They're more cannibals that have been attacked by Tinkerbell. That's what the monsters in Twilight are. I'm not saying vampires anymore, because that's not true. Now the way that most vampires are supposed to die, according to Dracula by Bram Stoker and a lot of other vampire lore, is that you gotta be stabbed through the heart, your head has to be cut off. The holy relics are a little different than using a stake through the heart, chopping off the head, or burning them. Burning them also works. Holy relics are more of a conceptual thing, as according to a lot of lore, vampires are supposedly older than religion. So why the hell wouldn't they be impervious to crosses? The theory is that it's not exactly crosses, it's the idea of the cross. In Dracula 2000, Dracula, spoiler alert, is Judas Iscariot, which explains why he's afraid of crosses. However, say you weren't Christian, say you weren't Catholic, and you didn't believe that Jesus Christ will save you or whatever. If you were Jewish, or if you were Buddhist, or Hindu, or whatever religion, depending on what you believe in, you could be safe. See, the idea that things are so pure, which is why I don't understand why salt doesn't hurt vampires like they're supposed to hurt demons. So, since vampires are demons, salt and iron are apparently 2 good things to protect yourselves with. Now, holy relics are also pure in mind. It's kind of a pure belief. I wholly believe that this cross will protect me from this vampire. Not because of I have faith in the cross or the faith that the vampire will go away, because I have faith in Jesus. Or I believe that the Star of David will protect me. I believe that this lamp will protect me. I believe that this Christmas tree will protect me because Santa kicks ass. It's more of an idea.
It's not that you have to hold up the cross and say that you have faith in Jesus or that you'll think that you'll be protected. It's more the idea that you know that it can happen. You put your life in the deity's hands. Hold up a hammer of Thor and wholly believe that Thor himself will come down and kill the vampire, then yeah, the vampire will probably go away. That's the idea with the cross.
Really, when you think about it, I don't know if holy relics can or can't. It depends on what you read and what you watch. And what you believe, I suppose. I still don't know why garlic is a thing. Still don't know. It's never really been explained to me. I mean, I'm sure it has at some point, but I just can't wrap my head around the idea that vampires hate garlic. Give me some garlic bread, I'll eat that shit up in like 10 seconds flat. There are some books that say that, vampires love garlic, or vampires' sense of smell is so strong that they can't stand the smell of garlic, or anything else that stinks. I don't know. And another thing is like why they have to sleep in coffins. I get that they're dead or technically undead. I suppose it would make sense because like if you're in a coffin, sunlight can't get through it, so I guess you're safe. But the whole dirt thing, in what I have read, vampires are supposed to sleep in their coffins with dirt from their homeland. Say I get turned into a vampire, right? And I have a coffin. I can't stay in that coffin, or I can't really go anywhere without dirt from my homeland. Why? I don't know. That's stupid. So garlic and dirt. That's the two things I don't get. Everything else is pretty plausible. Cutting off the head, stake through the heart, burning. That could kill anybody. I guess vampires are really more combustible than most humans, I guess. Must be all them steroids. So now we kind of get the whole lore of vampires, right? So we know their weaknesses and what essentially makes them stronger, which is blood and fear. Apparently they can smell fear. In some vampire novels, movies, some vampires have like the classic two fangs here, canines, or Nosferatu, the two fangs up here, like right here, buck-tooth Sally. And sometimes like in really gory, new agey vampire horror movies, their whole mouth are just like lined with rows and rows of teeth, which is crazy awesome and scary and whoa. But let's go back to the beginning, shall we? Vampires weren't really a huge thing before the 20th century. You're probably thinking that the very first vampire, the very, very first vampire was Dracula. Let me show you something. Okay, so you know earlier I mentioned Nosferatu. Nosferatu was the very first film vampire genre thing. For those of you who don't know, Nosferatu is a silent film that came out in 1922, and you'll probably recognize him from the episode from SpongeBob where he flicks on and on the light. That movie came out way before Dracula did. Not the book, the movie. Before Nosferatu came out, there was Bram Stoker's Dracula, but no one seems to really remember that the very first, known anyways, vampire novel was Carmilla. Who's Carmilla, you're probably wondering? That is an interesting question. Carmilla was a vampire, a female vampire. This story was written by Joseph Le Fanu, I think. However you pronounce that, who was an Irish author. And his book, Carmilla, came out in 1872, 25 years before Bram Stoker's Dracula. And it's been made into so many adaptations, but unfortunately most of those have been vampire erotica. Here's what. Although Carmilla is a very interesting and awesome piece of literature, you can actually read it for free in the link that I'm putting down here below. Carmilla was a lesbian. Carmilla was turned from this wonderful, interesting, and super cool piece of literature to porn. Because apparently that's all people got out of it. It sucks, but if you ever get the chance, read Carmilla. It's a good read, it's not very long, it's so cool. When you read Carmilla, you see a lot of this stuff that you see in Bram Stoker. Leading me to the next question, did Bram Stoker steal stuff from Carmilla? I mean, it was 25 years after the book was written. I mean, like 25 years after Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. A lot of people didn't really remember it until the movie came out. After Carmilla came out, the vampire scene kind of died out a little bit and suddenly sprang back to life with Dracula. After that, the whole craze started again. And soon, silent films came out, talkies, radio shows. Vampires were cool again. When you think about it, really, the whole reason vampires came out in media was because of Carmilla. There are a couple legends of the real-life vampires, like Elizabeth Bathory or Vlad the Impaler, who was a really crazy-ass dude who liked to impale people, even though he was like the savior of his country. They did fall kind of in the criteria. Yes, they drank blood. Way back before science kind of hit its, oh hey, this is actually a thing now phase, they kind of still believed in blood rights and all that junk. So Elizabeth Bathory actually believed that the blood of virgin women could make her younger, because virgin women, or young virgin women anyways, were apparently really beautiful. Whereas Vlad the Impaler, he didn't want to be young, he wanted to be powerful. Killed his enemies and even his friends and family by, impaling them on stakes to show his power and drinking their blood to become stronger. And they just got really sick, probably, and blood doesn't really help at all. Unless, of course, you're a vampire. So, how does one become a vampire? Okay, let's just think for a second, alright? How does one become a vampire? You meet an actual vampire. They suck your blood. You die. You drink their blood, thereby turning you into a vampire or killing you. It's a dangerous process, apparently. You don't suck your own blood. That's just gross. And you don't feed it to your boyfriends either. You all know what I'm talking about. Ugh. You don't suck tampons. That's just nasty. That's menstruation blood. That's not even actual, okay, it's actual blood, but it's not, it's old blood. That's really bad for you. That's extremely bad for you. Thinking about it just makes me want to puke. Filing and sharpening your teeth does not make you a vampire. Being a vampire means you're actually a vampire. Like, you were turned by an actual vampire. And vampires, to my knowledge, don't exist. I'm sorry, and I hate to admit it, but they don't. Unless, of course, I was visited by an actual vampire. An actual, honest-to-God vampire that can't enter my room without my permission. I'm sorry. Oh, what am I talking about? Fuck that shit. Vampires are real. The end. So hopefully this video helped you out with any questions you had about vampires. If you have any questions about vampires or want me to talk about another mythical creature for Halloween, please put it in the comments below or send it to me through Twitter or whatever. I have Twitter now, by the way. Tune in next week for Fanfiction Corner October, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Adios.
From my electrode, they did the monster mash.
It's almost Halloween.
It was a pretty
Don't drop candy. Don't do it. Don't drop candy. Don't drop
They
Brush your
did the monster mash.